Welcome to the Slow Living Collective podcast. I'm Amy, wife, mother of two and homemaker. Come along with me as I share my love for simple living, growing in my allotment garden, diving into what it means to be an urban homesteader and embracing life as a mother and homemaker. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode here on the Slow Living Collective. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you because, the numbers that this podcast is doing constantly astounds me, and I am just so grateful to you. So, today's episode is going to be all about being present and how to stay present. And I just want to talk about this, I guess. So, if you don't know, I have been busily working behind the scenes on just some educational stuff, and it's been a lot of fun for me. I haven't studied in an educational capacity for a while, but I have recently completed my 200 hours to become a yoga teacher. And I have been practicing yoga for many years. And so that's going to be something that I'm going to do more of. Although I have just completed my 200 hours, I have some sort of like further education that I want to do on that. I actually want to focus more on yin yoga, and so I'm looking forward to carrying on that. I've also got some yoga nidra I would like to do. So if you are a yoga teacher, you will know that there is some continuing education requirements. So I'm just gonna be working on that. But so I qualified as a yoga teacher this year, and although I haven't actually put anything into motion just yet, it is on my mind. And so I have just been learning more about yoga practice from a teaching perspective, but I've also been learning more about, because I'm also qualified as a mindfulness coach and a meditation guide as well. So mindfulness and being present and being in the moment, yoga and all of that, it's all connected. It's all connected. I also did some education on holistic well-being as well, being a holistic well-being coach, but again, it's all connected. And so I did want to talk to you today about being present and staying present. And would you believe it? While I'm talking to you in this episode, I'm actually painting a pot. And you probably actually, if you follow me on Instagram, and I think quite a lot of you guys do, you've probably already seen this pot because I batch record these episodes, you know, so that I'm not doing it sort of live or at the time. So you've probably already seen this pot because I'm probably really proud of the fact that I just painted my first pot. And I guess this is a good way to sort of kick off the episode actually, because actually creating things and being mindful is, pretty much what we're going to talk about today. So, how to be present and stay present. Now, like I've mentioned, we call this mindfulness, which I'm sure you have heard of, which is the art of being aware and being present in the moment. And isn't it crazy that we have actually lost the art of being present? Modern society is so busy that we don't even know how to be present. We have to learn how to be present. It blows my mind every single day that we don't know how to be present, and we've had to relearn the art of it. And it's just mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. The modern world has us always thinking and wondering and thinking about the next thing or the next moment, or what we need to do next, or what work we're working on. It just keeps us busy all the time, and because of that we've lost the art of being present and being in the moment.
And it's really sad. It is really sad, but it's all is not lost. We can totally reclaim this art of being mindful. And it's simple, just with a few simple things. So I'm going to share them with you today. While my pot dries, I'm going to share them with you. So, in a fast-paced world, we're always so busy. Everything is busy. I've spoken in previous episodes about, we wear busy as a badge of honour, and it can be really difficult to be present in the moment. But it's a really important point that you can't always be present in every single moment. It's just not possible. You cannot be present in every single moment, but you can be present in many moments. Um, it's not always easy to be present in the moment, and you shouldn't always expect to be. So you need to give yourself grace and remember that it's not going to be possible 100% of the time. But something you can do is tether yourself to a moment and be more mindful and therefore more present, and then you're able to practice mindfulness a bit more. You are able to have more curiosity for your environment and what surrounds you. You can think about what you can see, hear, smell, touch, alight your senses and embrace that curiosity. And that's like one of the first steps to being more mindful, is tethering yourself to that moment and looking around and just taking it all in. And your mind will wander, just as if you've ever done meditation, you'll know this. My mind can never be quiet. It's always thinking of the next thing. And so I always thought, like, oh, I can never do meditation because my mind always wanders. My brain is never empty. In fact, I remember as a kid, when I was trying to go to sleep, I was like, I can't go to sleep, I can't get to sleep. And my dad was like, just think of nothing. And I'm like, I can never think of nothing. I literally can never think of nothing. My mind is always thinking of something. Even as I'm going to sleep, my mind is thinking of something. So, yeah, that's not possible for me. I don't know. I'd love to know from you guys. Is your mind ever quiet? My mind is always doing something. So, no, for me, my mind is not a quiet place to be. So, yeah, just tether yourself to the moment. Tether yourself and just embrace where you are, where you're at. And it doesn't have to be for the whole time. It doesn't have to be, if you're, with your children. It's okay to let your mind wander. It's natural that your mind will wander. And something I have learned through meditation, that actually your mind wandering is fine. It's completely okay for your mind to wander. And it's very normal for your mind to wander. In fact, you just need to be aware of it and then just bring yourself back to the moment. And the same to be said for mindfulness, actually, as well. And just being more present is, when you notice that you're not in the moment, if you notice it, then just bring yourself back to it. And it can be as simple as that. Just bring yourself back to the moment and don't chastise yourself. The fact, oh, I wasn't present there, or oh, I don't remember that, and I should have been more mindful. We're only on this planet for a short period of time, and there's me thinking about something else. Like, it's normal. Please don't chastise yourself over it. It is completely normal. And so that is a great way to be starting to think about mindfulness, tethering yourself to the moment. And my pot is looking really good, guys. Right, on to the next. The next thing that I want to talk about in terms of being more present is about eating more mindfully. This is something that I am not always perfect at either. And then I think it's really important to just remember that you will never be perfect. You will never get this right 100% of the time, and you should not expect yourself to. I'm going to keep repeating that. You should not expect yourself to be perfect. You are human. So, eating more mindfully is definitely a way that you can embrace being more present. And this can simply be sitting quietly to eat, chewing slowly, focusing on each and every bite. Think about the texture of what you're eating and the way it tastes. Maybe you can even go as far as thinking about, where does this come from? What might life like be there? Allow your mind to wander. while you're being, while we're aiming to be present, you can let your mind wander. It is a normal and natural part of mindfulness and meditation. And another way that we can be present is really listen to the people around you. Listen to what they're saying. We generally talk to reply. We are waiting for our moment. We are waiting for that second that that person has finished so we can be like, I've got something to say here. And so, yeah, just start listening to people, listening to what they have to say, and just be more mindful and more present in that moment. Listen to them, listen to their stories. People like to share their stories, and it's important that we are able to listen to them. We are always waiting for that moment to jump in with our reply. So what if we didn't do that? Instead, what if we really listened and gave the person in front of us our time and our attention? They are the most important things that we can give someone. Okay. Another one is stop multitasking. Multitasking is something that comes up so frequently when it comes to like living more simply, and I'm not saying you can't ever do it. Sometimes I am multitasking. I'm running here, there, and everywhere. I don't know what I'm doing, who I'm doing it with, where I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to be doing, but multitasking is that wearing busyness of a badge of honor again. And instead of that, we want to slow down and prioritize what matters. Now, I want to tell you a quick story about when I was multitasking with doing the kids' breakfast. I have always done for the kids' breakfast in the winter. We live very seasonally. We have different rhythms and routines depending on the time of year. And when it comes to winter, we very much are in go slow hibernation mode, and we don't apologize for it. That is our life. I was always finding, it was mornings always felt so stressful. They felt like, I didn't know what I was going to make the kids for breakfast. I was always doing something on a whim. And, when it comes to winter time, we like to, eat warming, nourishing foods. That is just the way we like to live our life. And so I had been making, when it comes to winter, I always tend to make for me and the kids is I make porridge in the mornings, and I might put some like maple syrup on it or some honey, whatever anybody wants, berries, wherever we're at. I try and accommodate the masses. And so I always found that I was just popping it in the microwave and making it super, super quickly. And then I decided, like, okay, what if I started making my oats from scratch? So I purchase organic oats. It's just personal preference, but I purchase organic oats, and I thought, well, yeah, what if I start just making them from scratch and just seeing, just having a mindful moment with the oats in the pan. So that's what I did. I bought the oats. I already had the oats really because I was already making the porridge, but instead of throwing it into the microwave and letting the microwave do the work, I put the oats in, I put the milk in, I put a little bit of water in, and I just stood there. And instead of, like multitasking, thinking, oh, I've got to go to the dishwasher, I've got to get the kids ready for going out, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Instead, I just stood there and I just stirred the oats, and I just took that mindful moment with the oats. And it sounds so simple and so silly, I guess, to share. But there is a lot in that, in just taking those moments and just being mindful and being present and just unplugging and not worrying about, this, that, and the other, and all of the things I need to do. Just being super duper mindful. And it's just taking the time to slow down, not multitask, and just prioritize the things that matter. And I find that really helpful, and that's how I make my porridge to this day. just taking time over it and just seeing where we go, just enjoying the slowness of the moment. And that is super important to me. It's always a work in progress, as is anything I do. It's always a work in progress. But yeah, I love that little story because it made me sort of step outside myself and just embrace the moment, which is really, really important when it comes to mindfulness. And just stop the multitasking. I am terrible for it, and I'm trying to do better. Trying to do better. So that is a good tip from me. Now, when it comes to the online world, where are we with the online world? How do we stay mindful in a world that is online, that is just so busy? How do we stay mindful in that space? And honestly, I am still trying to figure that out. But when I feel like I need to be mindful and the world online is loud, I just unplug, and just take some time to myself. And yeah, that's pretty much how I do it. And yeah, just taking some time to unplug, and just get away from the things that cause me additional stress or anything like that. And then I'm able to be, sometimes you need to unplug from the online world to be more present in your offline world. So just be mindful of your consumption there. So I hope those little mindful tips were helpful to you. They are just some little ways that I find that I can be present and then stay present. Mindfulness is a work in progress, and I'll say it again, guys. You don't have to be perfect. You won't be perfect. Give yourself grace. Don't chastise yourself if you suddenly think, oh, I wasn't present. Just work on it and you'll get there. It's a muscle and we have to regrow it, because somewhere along the way in our evolution we lost it. And I don't know how we did, but we did. So thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. You can catch me as always over on Instagram. You can follow me there at lifeonplot44. You can also check out the blog, theslowlivingcollective.com. I will leave all the links in the notes. And if you are able, could you leave me a little rating or review? Listen, podcasts live and die by their reviews, and I'm trying to gather the best ones. So if you guys could leave me a rating or review on whatever platform you listen to your podcasts, I would be so grateful. Just head over between episodes, give it a little rating, give it a little review, and I will be your best friend for life. Thank you so much, guys, and I will catch you in the next episode.